Telephone tonight on the bed. California stars that love the field. Your hand touching mine will tell me why. I must keep working on you. Forgive this word. Just lay my head tonight on the bed. California stars.
Very good. Mike, that was great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, really good. Really, really good. I could hear the guitar work perfectly. It really sounded nice.
Oh, that's great. I love to hear that.
Yeah, very, very. Now, how was the harmonica when that came in as far as your learning?
A couple of years in, my guitar teacher early on said, there's a million gunslingers out there, meaning a lot of guys who can shred and play lead guitar. You'd be well served to, really work on your rhythm. And I started really zeroing in on people like Neil Young and, folks like that who incorporate a lot of harmonica into their work. And what I've found is that especially when I'm doing solo gigs, the harmonica really works in place of a fuller band, like a keyboard or a lead guitar.
Yeah, much fuller, richer sound, right?
I think so. I mean, it adds certainly a nice touch to it when played properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I've got harmonicas in many keys, so I can insert it into songs that are in D or E or G or whatever.
Wow, very nice, very nice. I want to ask you, because we do try to be a little bit about, although I would love this just to be us talk about music the whole show, but a little about transitioning and helping people transition. My theory is that if you find that one thing, that creative spark, or that creative, if you have a creative spirit, that it flows through your work life and it really helps you get through every day, and every day you can do something that's a positive step. So I want to ask, how does your performing career affect your day-to-day work life?
In a couple ways. Well, I mean, from just just digress 1 second, just purely as a logistical thing, it blurs the line to the point of where there is no line between performing and doing my work, because it's just the days just roll into each other, and I'm on a 24/7 cycle. So, but having a creative outlet, I think, especially in this unique situation that I find myself in, I feel makes you more heart and soul centric as people. And I believe that sort of without sounding too trite, but that sort of inner glow that comes from that, I think is pervasive, and it comes out in your work and how you interact with your colleagues and more importantly, your clients. And I think your clients see a better version of yourself because you do emanate this, heart-centric quality that I think, especially now, I think things are so tough right now that when people meet other people that are authentic and carry that sort of inner light with them, I think that it can only be good.
Yeah. No, I well, obviously this is my mantra. I mean, like personally, I look at it as being a writer. One thing I had to do right away was I had to learn to listen better, because everyone has a story. There's a story everywhere if you just stop and listen. And
absolutely.
Hear what people are saying, how they're saying it, how they fiddle with their glass as they're trying to explain something. whether they sit up straight, the tone of their voice, and you start, and that's how I found that it started flowing through my work life also, because I think I was a more attentive, more passionate person,
Passionate, compassionate, and more empathetic, I would guess.
Yeah. I think you're right. That is really, really cool. What else was I going to say? Oh, this is touching on that, the part about embracing technology. I was on your wedding proposal website.
Okay.
Which we'll get all your websites later. And the use of the GoPro and the film, I mean, this was like a romantic, it wasn't a comedy, but it was like this really, really fine, well done little film about a wedding proposal. It's just so cool. I would assume you share that with the customers. Well, before we get into details, tell us about your wedding proposal business. I think it's the coolest idea, and I think the listeners would love to hear about it. So tell me all about it.
So I came into it rather by accident. I've got a profile on a gig website called Gig Salad, and December 2012, a gentleman from Buffalo called me up and said, "Listen, I'm going to be coming down to New York City. With the idea of proposing to my girlfriend, and I'm going to do it in Rockefeller Center." And I said, "Sure, that sounds very doable." And it's, what's the song? It was an easy song. Forgive me. And so that was the first one I got, and it was right in Rockefeller Center, which it gave way to a little bit of humor, because the holidays in Rockefeller Center, it's wall-to-wall people, and
it's a bit hectic down there.
You are actually not allowed to transact business unless you have a special permit. And so there I am. I've got my gig bag out, and I'm dressed up in a blazer, and I'm sitting there with my guitar, and a guy who reminded me of the old Flatfoot Cops came up to me, and he said, "Wait a second here, pal. You're not making money off this, are you?" And I said, "No. I'm just doing a friend a favor. I'm just playing a song. He's going to be getting here in about 5 minutes. We're going to be out of here in 3 minutes, and he's just going to propose to his girlfriend." "All right, pal. Well, just as long as you're not making any money, it's all I care about." And so that was the first one, and I got a couple more after that. And I realized that there might be something to this. I might have happened into a niche business by accident. And so what I did was start partnering up with a couple of photographers and a videographer, and I started offering a bundled package of music, photography. And now what I've added to that, it's a small touch, but I think it's a nice and important touch, is that I bring a rose, a single red rose, and a little mini bottle of champagne with a couple of cups for after the deed is done. And so I created I realized that I was onto something, so I created a website, Marriage Proposals by Mike. At the time, I couldn't think of really anything better, so I went with that, and I created it on Vistaprint. And, talk about embracing the technology, I've been trying to get a little bit of a mastery of search engine optimization, which is proving to be no small feat. I know that you've been working on that as well.
I'm taking a class at NYU to try to figure out this Google machine that we have here.
So
I really am.
So it really has developed nicely. I mean, each year has gotten better since December 2012, and I've actually got a proposal this weekend. And the end goal for me, obviously, the real nice thing is if you get asked to play at the wedding, and I have been asked. My musical partner in another endeavor, and we played a song called "Ho Hey" by the Lumineers, he on mandolin, me on guitar, and we were in Chinatown because the song content calls for a trip to Chinatown. So there we were, standing underneath the awning of a Chinese restaurant, playing this song, and basically the couple came, and it was like stop motion photography. The entirety of the intersection of Elizabeth Street and Bayard Street stopped, and everyone reached for their iPhones and were filming the proposal as it was happening in real time. So it cool. I realized I was kind of really onto something here, and it's really quite an honor to be, almost a voyeur, looking at probably one of the most intimate things that happen between between.
Now, do they? Is it a surprise? It's a surprise to the fiance, the girl, correct? Usually.
99.9% yes. I did have one where it was the proposal was more or less a formality.
Okay.
But she, played the part and played the surprised girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
that's great. That's great. And I saw on the video, the use of, I'm assuming you used the GoPro.
That was a GoPro, in fact, yes.
That's the technology also. I'm watching, and the couple's walking through Central Park, and someone's behind them filming it, and it was almost like dramatic, like leading up. When are they going to get there? When are they going to get there? And then all of a sudden, I say, "Hey, that's Mike."
Right. It's interesting. I love the GoPro. I think it's an ingenious device. It's not perfect. One of the things that a lot of GoPros do not have a viewfinder in the back, and so what they do to address that is there's an app that you can get on your phone where there's a Wi-Fi in the GoPro, and you basically dial into that, and that gives you on your phone a way to adjust the GoPro to capture it.
Wow.
So in that particular instance, we had two GoPros going. One capturing the walk to me, and then I had one near me on the wall at the Gapstone Bridge. Basically what ended up happening was the GoPro, or my phone rather, picked up somebody else's Wi-Fi, and so it disconnected my GoPro, so we only had one GoPro, but we were originally going to have two.
Wow.
So, but the idea is that's one thing I do offer. We can have two GoPros, on hand, and what my videographer would do is, splice the two and then, edit it in such a way that you capture both.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, when are the drones coming in? The wedding drones.
I like to be on a wedding drone. Drop me in to a wedding proposal. So
that would be very cool.
I just happened to be dropped out of a plane. I actually did have I have a new bucket list item that I would like to have happen in this business of marriage proposals. I was in England at the end of August, and I realized that the London Eye would be a great place to do get a little private capsule. It might be a little tough to it might be a little tough to explain why there's a guitar player and a rose and a mini bottle of champagne in with just the couple, but
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, and that, to talk about a film, filming that would be pretty spectacular. It really would.
Absolutely.
It really would. So we do have another. What is the other thing that I want to ask? Oh, this is. I guess we sort of touched on it, but I look at it with me writing. My phrase has always been when people ask me, how do I feel about writing and spending my time? And like you, I wake up early to do it, and I do all those things. But I say, not only do I always have something to do, but I always have something I want to do. And that is in my normal day-to-day life. Say it's the market close.